Welcome back to my channel, and if you are first time visiting, thanks for joining. I'm Christina with Born Again Happy. Today I'm doing lesson 105 from A Course in Miracles. The title of this lesson is God's Peace and Joy Are Mine. God's peace and joy are yours. Today we will accept them, knowing they belong to us. And we will try to understand these gifts increase as we receive them. They are not like to the gifts the world can give, in which the giver loses as he gives the gift. The taker is the richer by his loss. Such are not gifts, but bargains made with guilt. Boy, we know that. We know all about the imbalance of giving from our ego space and not the true gifts that come from spirit, that radiate through us, that we want to share. Such are not gifts, but bargains made with guilt. The truly given gift entails no loss. It is impossible that one can gain because another loses. This implies a limit and an insufficiency. No gift is given thus. Such gifts are but a bid for a more valuable return. A loan with interest to be paid in full, a temporary lending meant to be a pledge of debt to be repaid with more than was received by him who took the gift. This strange distortion of what giving means pervades all levels of the world you see. It strips all meaning from the gifts you give and leaves you nothing in the ones you take. You know, it's interesting because I got a little annoyed with my daughters. They've left their rooms in shambles. They left their room in shambles. I've been asking them to clean. And sometimes I lose my shit, especially when it's been, and I'm not going to excuse myself because there's no reason for me to lose my shit, really, ever. You know, it starts with like a hint, a nudge, a gentle reminder, politely, respectfully, and then I kind of lose my shit. But in that, you know, I'm finding like things that I gave them of somewhat value that are just like sitting in a corner collecting dust or just kind of mismanaged. And, you know, that infuriates me even more because I'm thinking, you know, I bought it for them. They should be taking better care. And all of this stuff that I've been like getting annoyed with, even enraged over, this lesson couldn't come at a better time for me as a gentle reminder. All of that stuff is being driven by my ego. And it's not to say that I shouldn't talk with them about maybe, you know, keeping their space tidy and organized. I always say if you keep a tidy space, it kind of keeps your mind and your life a little more tidier. But the guilt that I was projecting onto them with the gifts that I've given and not taking good care of them, and I'm not going to get them any more, you know, high valued items in the future until I see some change. I mean, do I feel good projecting that onto them? No. There are boundaries that I have to set, but I'm sure that, you know, God is reminding me there's a better way. And, you know, that way could be, the boundary could be, okay, I'm just not going to go out of my way to maybe purchase such pricey items. I don't need to. They'll know I love them without having to go there too. But I don't have to be in a screaming, raging panic, you know, projecting all of my, you know, deficiencies onto them. But it's interesting that I'm doing this lesson as I was kind of raging on them this morning about their room that I've been asking over and over. And it just didn't feel that great. It didn't feel that great. to completely, and then to guilt them of every gift that I've ever given them. I mean, what's that all about? But it's not to say, okay, I'm just going to continue buying and buying and buying because, well, God is love and I'm peace and joy and I want to give only peace and joy. I can give peace and joy. I don't have to overspend. I don't have to show my love through all of these gifts. My peace and joy are enough. And from there, I will purchase from a more aligned, soul-filled space. A lot of these gifts came probably from a little bit of guilt. Showing my love for them. It's not necessary. None of that is necessary. And again, it's not to say stop buying gifts for your kids. No. But make sure that you are in alignment when you do it. And as kids, if you are buying a high valued item, leave some space for error, for the mistakes, so that you can give them grace. Just leave that space open for them, because things are going to happen, especially when they're teenagers. Breakage, droppage, loss for these items. It happens. So, I have to think twice if I'm going to invest in a high valued item. Make sure it's not out of sacrifice. Knowing that if something should happen, I'm going to be okay with it. I'm going to always leave space for error when it comes to the kids. Space for error. Room to grow is another way to put it, right? Because error is always that opportunity for growth with God. It's that room to remember who you are. Oh, it's amazing. Something just hit me. That error, that mistake is simply just space. Time. If we're going to talk about time as linear, it's just giving that time to remember who you are. Okay. A major learning goal. Hold on, I forgot where I left off. This strange distortion of what giving means pervades all levels of the world you see. It strips all meaning from the gifts you give and leaves you nothing in the ones you take. A major learning goal this course has set is to reverse your view of giving so you can receive. Forgiving has become a source of fear, and so you would avoid the only means by which you can receive. Accept God's peace and joy, and you will learn a different way of looking at a gift. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away. They but increase thereby. And it's funny because I'm talking about more material stuff, and this whole lesson is about the gift from God, and that has nothing to do with any tech items, nothing material. And at the end of the day, anything that is changeable has no value in a sense. You lose things, they break. But what are God's gifts? God's gifts are changeless. They are invaluable. So let's talk about what God's gifts are that you can receive and give freely. And the more you give, the more you get. Okay, let's keep going. Accept God's peace and joy, and you will learn a different way of looking at a gift. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away. They but increase thereby. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gift to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and peace as yours. True giving is creation. Wow. It extends the limitless to the unlimited, eternity to timelessness, and love unto itself. It adds to all that is complete already, not in simple terms of adding more, for that implies that it was less before. It adds by letting what cannot contain itself fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away, securing it forever for itself. Today, accept God's peace and joy as yours. Let him complete himself as he defines completion. You will understand that what completes him must complete his son as well. He cannot give through loss. No more can you. Receive his gift of joy and peace today, and he will thank you for your gift to him. Today, our practice periods will start a little differently. Begin today by thinking of those brothers who have been denied by you the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. I mean, I was not, when I was like raging against my children, I was denying them the peace and joy that is their right and is my right as well under the laws of God. I denied them to myself, and that's why they got rage me and not calmly and peacefully setting boundaries me. And here you must return to claim them as your own. Think of your enemies a little while and tell each one as he occurs to you, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. Thus you prepare yourself to recognize God's gifts to you. And let your mind be free of all that would prevent success today. Now are you ready to accept the gift of peace and joy that God has given you? Now are you ready to experience the joy and peace you have denied yourself? Now you can say, God's peace and joy are mine, for you have given what you would receive. You must succeed today if you prepare your mind as we suggest. For you have let all bars to peace and joy be lifted up. Bars, those are like prison bars they're talking about. And what is yours can come to you at last. So tell yourself, God's peace and joy are mine, and close your eyes a while and let his voice assure you that the words you speak are true. Spend your 5 minutes thus with him each time you can today, but do not think that less is worthless when you cannot give him more. At least remember hourly to say the words which call to him to give you what he wills to give and wills you to receive. Determine not to interfere today with what he wills. And if a brother seems to tempt you to deny God's gift to him, see it as but another chance to let yourself receive the gifts of God as yours. Then bless your brother thankfully and say, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. Oof. So let's close our eyes and really take this in. My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. God's peace and joy are mine. I want to give to you. I'm offering that to you. And if you offer that to another, you are giving to yourself. You are creating, you are adding to the creation of the world, of the universe. You are helping the universe expand when you offer peace and joy to another, because you are fortifying yourself. It is coming right back into you, expanding them, and expanding us as a whole. Don't worry about those other trinkets of joy that is fleeting. The new phone, the fancy new car, the small, the big, the diamonds, the clothes, whatever. These are trinkets. They're fleeting. But remember, to do this work, you don't have to sacrifice the little things that do bring, the trinkets that bring you joy. But I think when you get to the foundation of where your true joy comes from, those trinkets are just like little added bonuses that you actually might appreciate more when we clean up the foundation of where our true source of joy comes from and how we share that joy with others. And it's not necessarily by giving out diamonds or big fancy gifts. Giving that space to allow people to feel safe within your presence, well, that's joyful and peaceful. Giving people grace when they show their flaws or they admit their F-ups from the past or even now, when you can give them that space, that is a gift straight from the heavens. Okay, I always get a little bit interrupted, but I don't mind. Okay, so lesson 105. God's peace and joy are mine. Remember that. The gift that keeps on giving. Have a blessed day. Bye for now.